Greetings, YouTube. So, it is me, Data Links Magnets, back. It's been a while. I apologize. Ever since I dropped my last stop motion, the G.I. Joe stop motion, I kind of been chilling as far as YouTube content goes, concentrating on real life, such that it is. But we are back today to take a look at the new Amazing Spider-Man from MAFEX, and this is the Ben Reilly comic version. So, I have only reviewed, I want to say, just one MAFEX figure on my channel. I did the Superman from the Hush series. I have the Batman, the black version, and the blue version from that series as well. So I don't have a whole lot of MAFEX figures. This is my fourth one. And it's very good. So let's get into it. So I'm gonna try to keep this review nice, short, and sweet. Here's a quick look at the box. It does have some nice artwork on it. Got some pictures of Spider-Man. You got the product shots here on the back. Very nice looking. Box is nice and glossy. Very well done. That stuff, yeah. All right, so let's take a look at the figure. All right, so I don't recall what exactly I said in my Superman MAFEX review, but I know that I was surprised at how fragile the figure felt. It felt very light. It felt kind of loose in a lot of areas. It didn't feel like it was very sturdy. I felt like I was holding a piece of glass, like I didn't want to break it. I don't feel like that with this figure. I don't know if they changed the plastic material, like if they got some sturdier plastic, or if they made it thicker, or if they tightened up, the joints. Like, even the figure itself actually feels heavier in my hand. Now, I never got the first comic version Spider-Man that they put out that everybody was raving about. It was saying was the best Spider-Man figure ever created. I never picked that one up. I had it in my pile of loot. I had it bought 2 or 3 times, but I always kept sending it back because I just kept having second thoughts about it. So, from what I'm hearing, this one has been upgraded a little bit. It's the same basic body mold, but from what I've seen in a couple of reviews, they say that it's been upgraded as far as engineering, I guess. So let's take a quick look at articulation, and then we'll talk about accessories. So for those of you unaware, the Spider-Man MAFEX figures their claim to fame is excellent articulation. So you got a ball joint here at the neck, which gives you a whole lot of different movement. You also have a ball joint up here at the head, where the head meets the neck. So he can get a lot of different dynamic poses. Okay, he's very, very limber up there. Your shoulders are on ball joints within a butterfly joint, which is nice and stiff. I know my Superman butterfly joint was really loose on one side. You got the bicep cut, a spectacular double jointed elbow. And I do love how they do the elbows. It doesn't break up the sculpt as much. Your wrists and hands are on like a ball joint / swivel kind of thing that basically gives you a lot of different range of motion. Your torso, diaphragm here, and at the waist, giving him excellent crunching ability. And you have drop down hips. You got a thigh swivel up here at where the hip meets. You have a double jointed knee, which is very generous. And you have a very generous ankle tilt that's on a ball joint, and it's not an ugly ball joint, like it's not all sticking out. And And then you also have toticulation. So this guy is able to get into any type of wild, crazy, extra acrobatic, Spider-Man type poses with really relative ease. So he is definitely doing what he's supposed to be doing, or what we expect him to be doing as far as articulation. All right, let's take a look at accessories. All right, so the one thing you can really say about these high-end type figures, the ones that are, your Mezcos, the MAFEXs, the, I guess, SH Figure Arts, although I never bought any of those. But one thing you can say about them is that they usually load you up with a lot of accessories. If you get a Marvel Legends figure, you're looking at maybe an extra head if you're lucky, maybe an extra pair of hands if you're lucky, a couple of different weapons if they use weapons or anything like that. But, with these high-end figures, you expect them to give you a whole lot more because you're paying a whole lot more. And this one does not disappoint. So we have this here Ben Reilly head sculpt with a neck attached. Very well done. Really like this look for him. Paint looks really good on this one too. It looks flawless. You get that. You get another Spidey mask with the eyes still big, but a little bit more, streamlined, as opposed to the really big eyes. Although I prefer the really big eyes. You get a mask that is off and like folded up that he could hold, which is very nice prop. Excellent for stop motion and for action figure photography. And I want to say there's a little hole here where one of the hands has a peg where you can stick it in there, and then he can hold this in his hand. You get another pair of feet that actually have magnets on the bottom so he can stick to metal surfaces. You get several different web lines that he can hold or that you can wrap around his wrist like he's shooting them out. You get a long one, a short one, another one that he's holding, another one here. Like you get, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different types of web lines. Also excellent for photography and stop motion. And then you get a bevy of hands, a whole lot of hands. You got whipping hands. You have web holding hands. You've got some relaxed hands. You got a pair of outstretched hands. These ones have the pegs, so for holding things. And then you also get the magnet hands to go with the magnet feet. So as you can see, he is loaded up with accessories. Like they did not, skimp on accessories, which is good considering the price. All right, so real quick, we'll do a few size comparisons here. Here we have my only other two, well, besides the guy in blue, but that's the same sculpt. MAFEX figures, you got the Superman from the Hush line, and then you have Batman from the Hush line. Size-wise, I think this is pretty good. Batman is a little bit taller. Superman seems like he's a little bit taller than both of them. Spider-Man looks like a good size for this. I mean, it's DC versus Marvel, so I guess the scale isn't that big of a priority, but it's the same line of toys from the same company. You would like them to be able to scale together. So that looks pretty good. Okay, here we have him with the MCU Black Panther, and the most recent, I want to say, maybe not the most recent, but the most recent form of the regular original Spider-Man. I want to say this came with the retro wave from a few waves ago. This is, a lot of times, a lot of people like to say this is seen as one of the best Spider-Man to get put out by Marvel Legends. I would agree with that. The only problem that I kind of have with him, it isn't really a problem per se, it's kind of just a nitpick. His thigh muscles are just so jacked, which that looks great on a lot of characters, but Spider-Man probably needs to be a little bit slimmer than that. I like that he's more muscular than the pizza Spider-Man, but this is more probably how he should look. I mean, even if you wanted to keep all the cuts in there, that's fine, but they just don't need to be that big. But it is what it is. It's still a very good figure. Alright, so final thoughts on this MAFEX Ben Reilly version of Spider-Man. It's a home run. It is a very, very good looking figure, and it's, I want to say, I don't know this for sure. One of you MAFEX, experts can let me know if I'm on the mark with this. I want to say that they've done something different with this figure. He does not feel as fragile and as he does not feel as fragile and as easily breakable as some of their other offerings. He feels very solid. The joints are tight. The plastic feels thicker or heavier. I don't know how to describe it really. It just feels like a more sturdy, a more stern, figure compared to some of their other offerings. I mean, like I said, I can't really speak on everything because I only got 3 of them, now 4. So I guess I'll see with some of the other ones that are coming out that I'm going to get and compare them to, the Superman, which really the Superman is the one that is the loosest and the most fragile feeling to me. So let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe.